How are you going to pass that real estate exam? Well, you're going to do it by practicing lots and lots of questions after you know your vocabulary or during the time that you're studying your vocabulary. So today we're reviewing national questions that applies to all 50 states and then some Texas questions on the second part of it. So get ready to participate. I ask you to participate during the class and type in the question number and the letter answer. Should you get it incorrect for some reason, I will help you understand it by reviewing the answer, explaining more based on my experience, or we'll Google it and find out other ways to understand it. And I also point out keywords in the question and in the answers to help you understand the questions and the answers. Hi, Mariano. Good afternoon. Hi, Delta. Hi, Dolly. Welcome back. Yes, it's been a while, right? I missed last week. So here we are. All right. So let me share the screen. And thank you for joining us. And hey, remember, type that question number and the letter answer after I read the question and the answers. Pick your choice. If it doesn't work out, I'll say take another attempt. Right? And then I'll review the question, the answer. All right. So we're on national questions, test number 6. And the book that I'm using, I probably should have done that first. So this is the book that we are using, Texas Real Estate License Exam. This book is available in 26 different states by the same authors down here, and I have permission to use it. So just in case somebody says, oh my gosh, it's copyrighted. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. All right, so here we go. (6.1) again, economics and appraisal. All right, we have somebody on Facebook. So those of you on Facebook, I'm going to have you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give StreamYard permission to post your name on here. So let me type it on there. StreamYard.com/Facebook. It'll take you like 15, 30 seconds. Click the link that I just typed on Facebook. So let's see, who is it that's on here? I can't tell. So the person that's on Facebook, why don't you say what your name is? Because I don't see who it is unless I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, yes. All right, it's Lisbeth. Hey, Miss Lisbeth. Okay, I know you have it. I am in the Michigan. Is this still? Yes, of course. As I mentioned, this is national questions that applies to all 50 states, 50. All states use the same national questions, okay? You may have your exam all in one, combined, national and Texas. In Texas, we happen to have it separated, and other states do too. But some states have it all combined, national and your particular state. So this will apply for you on the national portion. And by the way that I break down the questions and the answers, it'll help you when you're studying for your state exam also. So to remember that. And I'll point out vocabulary, which is very important. Yes, I'll be doing state questions in the second half. Or the last portion, right? Because normally I do less state questions. All right, number 1, economics and appraisals. If the price of an item is increasing, one can usually assume that what? Okay, so if the price of an item is increasing, one can usually assume, we don't typically like to assume, right? However, A, demand for the item is decreasing in relation to supply of the item. B, the demand for the item is increasing in relation to supply of the item. C, the supply of the item is increasing, or D, the demand for the item and supply of the item are increasing. So supply and demand means when there's more demand, okay, for a product, then the price can increase, right? No, it can decrease. If there's less demand for it, then the vendors will sell less. Or let me repeat that again. When there's a lot of demand and not enough supply, the price goes up. When there's not enough demand and too much supply, the prices will get dropped. So in this case, if the price of an item is increasing, what could we assume? A, B, C, or D? Type the question number and the letter answer. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Truth Seeker. So the price of the item is increasing, okay? So the demand is increasing, right? There's less supply. Low supply, high demand. So the answer is actually B. 1B, demand for the item is increasing in relation to the supply of the item. So the price is increasing because there's less supply of the item. So when there's less, like when we were in COVID, right? All of a sudden it's like, wow, there's no toilet paper. Everybody went and bought all the toilet paper. And those who bought an abundance of toilet paper ended up selling it for a high price. Because now the stores didn't have any toilet paper and water. And those who had it were selling it for a high price. So it went crazy. So there was a demand for toilet paper, right? Everybody said, oh man, I've got to have toilet paper. If I don't have toilet paper, man, how do I wipe my butt? Well, there's other solutions, right? There's always a solution. So they're willing to pay a higher price because the supply is low. You know, cavemen and women didn't have toilet paper. All right, number 6.2. So it created a panic. Oh my gosh, it was like, and, you know, it scares people that they then go, you know, get taken advantage by those that went and bought all the supply with the grocery store should have allowed it. Well, that type of thing can happen also in real estate. When there's not enough homes available, buyers are willing to pay more and the prices can increase. All right, number 2. Well, let's see here. Hello, y'all. I passed my test in Texas. Woohoo! Look at this. Raswitty passed the test in Texas 2 weeks ago. Thank you so much for your test review. Oh, you're very welcome and congratulations. Yoo-hoo! On your way to being a licensed realtor. Remember to interview different companies, including hopefully EXP. We're not for everyone because we are a virtual company, but interview different companies if you haven't yet before you make a decision. And don't allow anyone to coerce you to join their company and by promises that they make. Do your research. You're very welcome. Number 2. Oh, did I show the answer? No. So 6.1 was B. All right. Number 4, an item has achieved market equilibrium. So what is our equilibrium? You know the scales, equilibrium. Which of the following statements is true? A, new suppliers will enter the market and drive the price down. B, demand will slowly taper off, driving the price down. C, unmet demand for the item is directed towards demand for other item. Or D, supply and demand are equal and price and value are equal. So we have another testimonial success here. Yes, Delta passed last week. These videos really helped. Oh, thank you so much, Delta. And I'm glad that they did help. So look, there's congratulations. All right, so far, type the question number and the letter answer in the chat. So far we have 6D by Dolly. So great. That's right. We have to support each other, congratulate, encourage, whatever it takes. The answer is D. Supply and demand are equal. When things are in equilibrium, right? Like the scales, they're not tipping up or down. They're balanced. Then they're in equilibrium, right? Supply and demand are equal, and price and value are equal. Yeah, equilibrium's equal. Yeah, it's like our equilibrium in our ears, right? They're in balance. Otherwise, we start right and start falling. So same with the supply and demand. Very good. Going to number 3. Let me make it bigger if I can here. Yeah. All right, number 3. As an economic product, okay, remember mix and economics. So as an it is distinguished by what? A, its homogeneity. B, its variety. C, the uniqueness of every parcel, or its ability to appreciate in value. So, vocabulary, homogeneity, variety, we know, right? There's a lot of differences. Uniqueness, okay? Sorry about that. Parcel, value. Those are all vocabularies. Micro-econ class. Yeah, I took an economic class in college. I liked it. It was fun. My professor said, you should go into economics. I'm like, does it really make money? So what is an economic product and real estate? How is it distinguished? No, it is not D. Take another attempt. Most properties will appreciate, but sometimes there's a crash in the market and they'll depreciate. So economic product, supply and demand. So what is real estate is distinguished? C, its uniqueness. Sorry, of every parcel. Every parcel is unique. There are no two identical parcels. All right. Y'all get that? Property can appreciate. It doesn't have to. It depends on the economics, the demand. Okay, the supply and the demand. That's the economics. So in most markets, it appreciated for the last 2-3 years. And COVID caused a lot of that. People were paying way a lot more money than what they were worth. Why? Because there weren't enough homes and they wanted to buy one. Now many are having buyer's remorse and are going to be selling them because they bought them overpriced. Now they're going to, or they may lose money. Okay, remember to type the question number and the letter answer. And thank you for those that are doing it. I know some of you do it sometimes and then forget like I do. All right, number 4. The city of Stevensville has declared a moratorium on new construction. So what is moratorium? If demand is increasing, what will be the likely effect, right, on real estate prices in the area? A, prices level off. B, prices continue to follow the trend that preceded the moratorium. C, prices fall. Or D, prices rise. Okay, so what's a moratorium? Declared a moratorium on new construction. Type your letter answer, letter question number, and the letter answer in the chat. So keep typing the answers. Question: the book you recommended weeks ago, does it break down the math also? Yes, so this book also has math in it. Almost all prep books will have math, and math is math anywhere in the nation, right? And it'll have math questions. It'll also have a review chapter like I did a few weeks ago. I was reviewing some math. I just chose not to do it today because I hadn't done any Texas. So I'm adding national and Texas today. And I can do national and math next week. Yes, it has, a lot of review, okay, for the math. And almost any prep book, probably any prep book that you purchase from the school you went to or that you buy online or purchase one of the ones that I recommend in the description below that you can purchase on Amazon. And just know that if you purchase something by clicking one of my links, I will receive an affiliate fee. Doesn't cost you anymore. Thank you for the question. Good questions. And there are a lot of videos online and like from Prep Agent and others that review math a lot and do math problems. Okay, so did you all understand why so what is moratorium, right? They put a halt on building. So when they stop building, and the demand is increasing, we don't have enough homes on the market to cover the demand. So what will happen? Prices will rise, right? Just like the prior question, demand for the item is if a price in item is increasing, one can usually assume that that the demand for the item and supply of the item, what was the answer? Demand for the item is increasing in relationship to supply. What was the answer for that one? So price of an item increases because there is a low supply, okay? Demand for the item is increasing in relation to supply of the item. So similar to this answer here. The supply of new construction decreases due to the moratorium putting a hold on it. So that increases the price. The builder can charge more. So let's see, someone answered B, prices continue to follow the trend that preceded the moratorium. No. What happened before the moratorium, it was a little bit different market. So they were building a lot. When there's a lot of supply of homes, it can cause the price to go down. If the builder is not selling them, they're going to adjust their price or offer some offer some appliances, offer something else for free in order to be able to sell it. They'll offer some concessions. All right, number 5. If Okapi Inc., a company that markets sports clothing worldwide, moves into Stevensville and hires 100 employees, it is reasonable to expect that the town will experience what? So if all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, if a new company is on there and more people are moving into town, there's going to be a demand for a lot of things. So what will that cause? Remember, supply and demand, economics. A, an immediate rise in the demand for industrial real estate, but no other changes in the real estate market. B, an increase in demand for all types of real estate. C, a housing boom, but no other changes in real estate market. Or D, an immediate increase in prices for industrial and office real estate, but no impact on industrial market. So you've got 100 employees moving to Stevensville because of this new company, right? This company moves in, hires new people, more money going out. So those people that are coming into town, they need a place to stay. They need shopping. They need a lot of things, right? So while you all type your answer, we have another success. Pass the national. It failed my state today. Can't find material for state. Texas here. Any tips? Yes. So if you're looking for Texas questions, my YouTube channel focuses a lot on Texas also because I'm in Texas. So I have a lot of videos on Texas only or national and Texas. And the book that we're using also has a Texas section. So you can purchase this book. Okay. Not many channels do Texas. Okay. They do a lot of national. I think a prep agent does some Texas, and I focus on Texas because I'm in the state of Texas and licensed here. So I do national and Texas. So lots of videos that I have on Texas or a combination of national and Texas state. So the answer here is 6.5B. Very good, Ali and Mariano. So did that answer your question, Shams? Yeah, so in my description, I recommend some books that you can purchase for Texas and, for national. But the books I recommend on there, also include, all the national questions and then also Texas. All right, number 6. Again, we're reviewing national questions that also and covering economics and then maybe some appraisal. And economics is what? The supply and demand of items. What is absorption? Like a sponge absorbs water, right? Our mind absorbs information, right? So A, the amount of new space that is added to available space over a period of time. B, the number of houses that are built over a period of time. C, the amount of space that is occupied at any given time. Or D, the number of available units that become occupied over a period of time. Type your answer in the chat. In the meantime, I'll answer a question. Yes, whenever someone here in Texas, okay, I'm not sure in Michigan whether you take 2 separate exams, one for national and one for Michigan. You may. In Texas, we take 2 exams, one for national, one for state. Therefore, if we don't pass one, we only repeat the one that needs to be passed. So if she passed national, only has to retake the Texas. Okay, so far I have answers C and C, and that is not correct. Take another attempt. So C says the amount of space that is occupied at any given time. Well, we're talking about the absorption rate, okay, of what? Real estate? It could be items. The answer is actually D, the number of available units that become occupied over a period of time. So there are a lot of rental properties available. It could be homes, it could be apartments, townhomes, condos, commercial property, land. So we can determine, how many properties are absorbed per month. Okay, and how many months does it take to occupy them all? So that is the absorption rate. How many did we absorb within the last 30 days, and how many months will it take to absorb the remaining number that is unoccupied? So it's the number that were occupied over a period of time. So number of units or homes that were available or commercial that became occupied over, let's say, 30 days, for example. That is the absorption rate. You will learn to use absorption rate when you start your real estate. Many have difficulty understanding it. So let's see how the absorption rate is the amount of available property that became occupied over a period of time. Okay, doesn't explain it anymore, but that's basically it. Let's see, was not in my purchase study guide, so thank you. Oh, so Dolly, you said you're in Michigan, right? So do you have 2 exams in Michigan? The study guide may or may not, tell you that. Most prep books have a section about, real estate and getting your license and that type of thing. Not all do. However, that's something that you can find out by calling your real estate commission for your state. So it's best to go to the main source of where you will get licensed, and that will be the real estate commission. Books do make mistakes and errors, or you can Google it online and find a lot of answers. There's so much information on the internet. Go on Google. It says, do I have to take, which exams do I have to retake? If I pass one, do I have to retake both or just take one? Google it. People are constantly asking questions. Or like they say it in Spanish. Anybody here to speak Spanish? Googlealo. Learn to research and verify information for yourself. You called the company about missing terminology. Well, they're not always going to include. There's over 700 or 800 or 1,000 vocabulary words. They don't always include them all. Okay. So hopefully that's what they told you. So that's why it's good to review different materials. There's a lot of free vocabulary online. Okay. And some books do have the vocabulary. Majority of them don't. 6.7, when vacancies are declining in a real estate market. Okay. Vacancies are declining. So that means more and more are getting filled up, right? So like you're going by a hotel and it says no vacancies or 1 vacancy, right? Better hurry up if that's the only hotel available. Otherwise, you're going to sleep in a car or outside in a tent. So when vacancies are declining in a real estate market, it is common for the market to experience what? A, rising prices. B, falling prices. C, falling construction activities. D, falling absorption. All right. Dolly said they added it. So was this an ebook that they quickly added the vocabulary? I mean, they can improve the book, but it usually takes them, until they do their next publishing version, unless it was something that they provided. So, well, that's good. They heard you. So we've got so far 6.7A, rising prices. Anyone else? Type your answer in the chat. Come on, participate. This is a time to take a risk and, type an answer. Do it here where I can respond and let you know why it's correct or why it's incorrect and try to enlighten you. All right, the answer is A, rising prices. When vacancies are declining, there's not enough vacancies, right, in real estate market. What happens to the demand? Okay, the demand goes up, prices rise. Oh, she says online. Okay, so the vocabulary was online, so they were able to quickly change that. Ask and ask lots of questions. That's how we're going to learn about what they want or what they need and how we can solve their situation, their problem, or their issue. Number 8. The price for any product is a or StreamYard keeps skipping, so you may not see the screen for the moment. All right, so the price of any product is a function of 4 fundamental determinants of value. Okay, so function, vocabulary, fundamental vocabulary, determinant, vocabulary, value, vocabulary, right? A, durability, feasibility, mobility, and location. B, desire, utility, scarcity, and purchasing power. C, popularity, recognizability, promotion, and rebate. Or D, fungibility, cost, convenience, and uniqueness. So what is the price of any product is a function of 4 fundamental economic fundamental determinants of value. So type your answer in the chat. So there's a little bit of delay, when I click on things on here. And so hi, Homemade Hospitality. How's it going, Miss Cassie? All right, so here we've got a comment. Do you recommend watching your videos over and over or writing the questions down and studying that way? It depends on how you learn. Everyone learns differently, okay? You can learn through Audible, through video, through reading text, through writing them out. So when I'm listening to material or I was studying my courses, at the time there weren't, I didn't know of some of the YouTube channels that were available. I took my exam in November of 2013. So I didn't have those videos to watch and I didn't know about Prep Agent. And so I read the test. I did the test questions online over and over and over until I got 100 score. And I also take notes. However, I'm not the best at going back and reviewing my notes. So I would redo the test. Because why? That's what we're going to do in reality. We're going to go and take the test, the questions, multiple choice. And I was nervous about multiple choice. So it depends on how you best learn. And let's say, let's say, for example, I'm doing creating habits, and a habit takes about 21 days at least to create a habit. And that habit creates us. So I'll listen to the same affirmation video every day, the same thing. I repeat the same affirmations, right? Because repetition is how we learn it. When we were born and we wanted something from mom or dad, what would we do? Cry, right? When we're a baby. After that, we start crawling. We repeat it over and over and over until we learn how to crawl really fast. And then we walk, right? We take one step at a time. Same thing with material. You can watch the video. You're also listening, right? So it's visual and audio, or you can listen to them. I'll listen to books and I'll listen to the same chapter several times. I'll read a book like, I just read this book. Okay, The Greatest Salesman in the World. Awesome book. It's the second time I read it. Why? Because I forgot what I read years ago. So repeat. Okay, so you graced your test. Yeah. Awesome. All right, so what was the answer here? Okay, we've got 6.8 B. Okay, everybody says B, 6.8 B, and I'll review all the other comments. So yeah, it is desire, utility, scarcity, and purchasing power. So the determining factors of value, the price for any product, is how much the individual desires it, right? The utility of the use of it. Scarcity, is there enough or is there a little bit of it? Purchasing power, what purchasing power do you have? How much do I desire it? How useful is it? How scarce is it? And am I able to pay for it? So it's all in relations to you. All right, so let's see here. The school I went through gave me a study aid and it's completely different and it's very confusing. Truth Seeker, every school is different, even though they're all accredited. They teach the same material, but you have different instructors, different books. And so it's good to evaluate and listen and watch and read different things. And when you find one that works for you, stick with it. Okay. So yes, I remember you passed. Yes, congratulations. Way to go. What's snap screen? Okay, I don't get that one. So let's see what Cassie says. She said, for me, it's learning the concept. So you see, she likes to learn the concepts, which I would also do, but then I practice lots of questions and learn the vocabulary. And when you don't understand the questions and the material, then you go and review the concept. And I like to highlight a lot and write notes. That was how I learned. When you learn the concept, the answers are obvious. Yes. So some of the concepts are what? Vocabulary, right? You got to know what all these vocabulary are. That's part of the concept. And so when you learn the vocabulary, you can better answer the questions. So that's why I keep saying vocabulary, and more vocabulary. Hey, Dolly, shoulda, coulda, woulda, let it go, move on. Okay, learn as you go. Don't dwell on it. Don't be hard on yourself. I used to say shoulda, coulda, woulda, forget it. Move on. Don't waste any time on that shoulda, coulda, woulda. Snap screen questions. You mean do snippets of the screen, print screen, something like that. I think that's what you're talking about. All right, so it was desire, what people desire, what you desire, how you're going to use it, the utility of it, how it serves you, how available is it, scarcity, and can you buy it? I believe everyone chose B. Very good. All right, number 9. Y'all are doing awesome. And thanks for your participation. That's great. And for your questions. So anybody watching the replay, hey, you can fast forward on anything you don't want to listen to. You have a choice of going 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, and 2. Sometimes I listen videos at that speed. If this person speaking is clearly speaking, then you can go faster. I'll do some of them at 1.75 and I can still understand them. Like I listen to Mel Robbins and I can understand her at 1.75. And if I've heard it for a repeated time, I'll go even faster. I just want to refresh my mind of what I heard or what I read, and I can do it faster. You absorb more, right? Absorption. We're there to absorb the material, repeat it until you understand it. You know, you don't need to memorize it. But if memorizing works for you, hey, if you have a, what do you call it? A picture mind, or you can remember everything that you see. Hey, awesome. I don't. Number 9, a town is rapidly growing, but all the buildable vacant lots in the most desirable area have already been occupied. Oh my gosh, they're growing like crazy, but all the lots are selling like crazy or have sold. In this case, it is likely that the price of existing homes in that area will be what? Will stabilize, the population must stabilize. B, will increase. C, will decline since no further building can take place. Or D, will not show any predictable movement. So, rapidly growing town, all the buildable lots, okay, and most desirable areas have been occupied. So what happens there? Is it likely prices of existing homes in that area? What will happen to those prices, those homes? If you can't build and you want to buy and there aren't enough, supply and demand, yes, the answer is B, will increase. So what happened during COVID? Not enough homes on the market, lots of buyers. Why? Because the interest rate was down to 3%, even 2.5%. Right? And it's like, man, that's a lot of purchasing power at that interest rate, right? So they were willing to pay more. And people, sellers had, 10 offers, 20 offers, 30, 40 offers sometimes. And the price went up and offered a lot more than what the property was really worth. Frenzy and competition, oh man, they want it, right? You want things smart. Are you desperate, or are you being a resourceful, smart buyer? A lot of those buyers, a lot of remorse. Pay too much for the properties. Not all of them, but a lot of them did. Yes, will increase. Thank you. All right, number 10. So did you all notice I started an hour earlier than I usually do? I normally start at 6. Take a guess why I'm starting earlier. Type it in the chat. Okay, number 10. Yeah, these questions are from the same book that I showed at the beginning, all right? So anyone that just came in, I have the book listed in the link in the description. So I'm using this book because I have permission from the authors, and they published this book in 26 different states. They're growing and adding a state, I think, every year, and they renew the books every couple years. They update them, I should say. Awesome people, a small family group. I spoke with them, and really pleasurable to talk with them. So that's the book I use. I was using some other books, but I can't find the publishers to get permission to keep using them. So you can purchase them. They're in my links. The books that I like is they have review on all the material that you took for preparing for your exam, on all the courses that you took. And they do a review of what is real estate about, what to expect. The exams, prepping for the exam. Some of them have vocabulary. They explain the answers. I like those books because that way you have a quick resource to have the answers. The books that don't have answers just give you the letter answer. Then you have to go and try to figure it out in the material, right, on the review material, or Google it. You'll be amazed at how quickly you'll get an answer when you Google it. So utilize Google. Dog ate my notes. No, I do take care of a neighbor's dog, my walking buddy. But no, I did that because I adjusted my routine. I now get up at 4:30 in the morning and I go to sleep at 8:30. I started this new rhythm, this new routine. I was creating multiple habits for 21 days because I wanted to lose weight and be more energetic for work. And I listened to Jim Quick and Mel Robbins and a whole bunch of other people. And I learned this habit called, or this practice of the 3-2-1 from Mel Robbins. Look her up on YouTube, Mel Robbins. She's got like 1.7 million subscribers. The 3-2-1 is that 3 hours before you go to bed, stop eating. 2 hours before you go to bed, stop working. 1 hour before you go to bed, put your phone away where it's far away from your bedroom. Don't use your bedroom as a study. Okay. So my phone is now in the kitchen. So now I exercise in the morning. I wanted to get all my exercise in the way so that I can lose weight and have better eating habits and more energy during the day. So get up at 4:30 and I want to sleep 8 hours. So I got to go to sleep by 8:30. So 3 hours before that, I stop eating. Actually, 4 hours before that for me. So 3 hours before that, I stop work. So 3 hours before 8:30 is 5:30. Okay. So I start at 5 so that we can finish around 6 or a little after. All right. So that's why I did it. So yeah, the questions are in each chapter and the answers are at the end. Okay. Thank you for the question. So number 10, I haven't read number 10. Let's see what other comments. I see. I'm gonna try it too. Yes, staying up late makes you snack and oversleep. Yes, and so I don't snack. I eat one full meal a day. I'm a lot older, okay, and it's a lot easier to. It's a lot tougher to sometimes lose weight when we don't exercise and eat the right food. And by creating habits and routine, we are more productive and we become happier individuals and a happier relationship, happier with children and work. All right, number 9, you stay younger also when you try to sleep 8 hours a day. So it's going to help you in your real estate business or any business that you have by creating routines and habits and having energy to do your work. Because if we don't feel well, we don't feel good, we're in a bad mood, it comes across to our prospects, to our clients. We don't want that. Number 9, a town is rapidly growing, but so what happens there? Oh, we already did number 9, right? It was B. We are on number 10. If there's a significant undersupply, okay, low supply of homes in a market, construction will tend to increase. This is an example of what? A, supply outstripping demand. B, demand outstripping value. C, consumer optimism. Or D, the market tending towards equilibrium. Significant undersupply of homes, not enough homes in a market. I mean, extremely not enough homes on the market, not enough sellers putting their homes for sale, listing them with realtors or for sale by owners. Then construction tends to increase. So what feeling does that create on people? What belief? This is an example of outstripping demand, demand outstripping value, consumer optimism, or the market tending towards equilibrium. Okay, it's not D because it's not going towards, I'm sorry, I was going to say it's not B, demand outstripping value. Okay, so they want to bring things to where there's more homes available to meet the demand. So when there's not enough homes and they start building homes, it's going to start bringing it to an equilibrium, right? A balance. And at a certain point, it's going to go, the balance will titter-totter, right? You have the scales, supply and demand, they'll shift, but they're working towards an equilibrium. If they start building too many, then there'll be too many homes on the market, too much supply, and maybe not enough demand. Yes, Prep Agent is really good. I used to use him in some of my classes. It was recommended to me years ago by several of my students. All right, so the answer was D. There could be consumer optimism, okay? However, that's not dealing with supply and demand. The supply and demand is the market tends to go towards equilibrium. So it starts to become equal. The supply and the demand are going to equality, right? The demand doesn't outstrip value. Okay, it usually increases price when there's a demand, and the supply doesn't outstrip demand. So lack of supply will increase pricing because of the demand for homes or for a product, in this case, homes, right? But it's not outstripping. So you can look up what is the vocabulary term outstripping. So let's see what the answer says here. A market tends towards a state of equilibrium in which supply equals demand and price, cost, and value are identical. Thus, if supply is scarce, construction will increase to stabilize the imbalance. Yes, so Prep Agent, I recommend them also. So let's see. I tell everyone that asks me how I pass the test, I tell them you and Prep. Yes, Prep Agent, especially you, because you really help with developing concept. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. But Prep Agent is also excellent. There's also another one that's really good, the Real Estate Wizard. I think that Real Estate Wizard also explains in more detail, kind of like I do. And his sessions also go like an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. So you've got to keep listening and watching and reading sometimes different material until you get to understand it. Right? Sometimes we have teachers in high school or college, and we hated their form of teaching, their style of teaching, right? And then another person, we can learn the same material much better because of how they explain. Okay, and their projection and their patience and their examples. All right, number 11. If commercial real estate rental prices are falling in a market, it is likely that, so commercial real estate rental prices are what? Falling in a market. It is likely that A, demand has outstripped supply of space. B, the market is in equilibrium. C, the market is oversupplied. Or D, the employment is increasing. So commercial real estate rental prices are falling. So why would prices fall? Is it because there are not enough or there is too much? All right, the answer is 11C. The market is oversupplied. That's why prices are falling. Too many available commercial rental properties. So prices start to fall. We're having some of that now because, the interest rates have caused more individuals to rent instead of buy. So when they want to rent, there's a demand for rentals, rent prices increase. However, properties for sales start to decrease. Here's the market. All right, I just noticed the time. So in order for me to stick with my routine of 3, 2, 1, we've got to end the national questions now and go do some Texas state questions. So any questions, because I've got to be done by 6:30. Remember, stop working at 6:30, actually a little bit before that, because then I've got to do the search engine optimization for my YouTube channel. So any questions on national? And thank you for all your questions, all your comments, participation, and your sharing. That's awesome. That's what is important to do. Take a risk while you're in a live session that you can get feedback. All right, so I'm going to bookmark this so that I know where to start next time. Oh, actually not there. We will start on 12. So for anyone here, if this is your first time to my YouTube channel, AgentPrep, YouTube AgentPrep, remember to tap that subscribe button, click that little bell so you're the first to get notified every time I go live or post a new video or a short, and tap the thumbs up button if you find this video useful. So there's quite a few of you here on YouTube and I don't see any thumbs up. So send me some love, okay? That encourages me to keep doing this and it helps my analytics or how YouTube promotes channel. All right. See here. Cassie, the homemade hospital says, yeah, the wizard is great. I forgot about them. Yes, and sometime when it's explained from a different scenario, we're able to grasp some meaning and concept. Yes. And if you still don't, Google it. Dolly, you're very welcome. Thank you for attending. So anything else before we shift into Texas state questions? And anybody watching the replay, hey, just fast forward, between the questions as this is designed to allow students to participate. And I go into explaining, sometimes the questions, go into a little bit more detail, give personal explanations on my experience. All right, so no questions. Okie dokie. Here's another recommendation from Cassie. Ask questions, please, when you don't understand. Thank you for that. Yes, ask lots of questions. Always ask why not, what is it, what for, how, when, where. So lots and lots of questions. Might as well get practice doing it now so that you're more comfortable asking questions to prospects when you start the business. All right, so on the Texas state, we're going to start with question number 1623. Oh, I'll share the screen and just bear one moment, please. All right, so 1623. So let's see what this section is on. So this deals with special topics in Texas real estate. Okay, so this is now Texas questions. Anyone that is in another state, you are, welcome to stay. I invite you to stay, because even though it's not pertaining to your state, there are still vocabularies that I may point out that you could learn. Okay, it's just and some questions might be similar in your state, but you've got to learn the state portion from your particular state. All right, number 23. So special topics. Which of the following is an act required for making a valid will in Texas? A will. A, the military. B, the maker must have a guardian if deemed to be mentally incapable. C, the maker must be at 21 years of age. Or D, the will cannot be the maker's own handwriting. And pay attention to little words like must, always, never, none. Okay, a lot of times those are trick words, okay, that could cause you to select the wrong answer. And sometimes it might be the only answer that has must, maybe a true must, okay? However, sometimes it can steer you to the wrong way. So, oh, well, it says I must do that. Well, really, do you? There's not a whole lot that is absolute. The fact that we must put our broker's name on all marketing, that is absolute. That is a must. So type your answer in the chat. For number 23 is what? In order to making a valid will, what is required? Type your answer in the chat. Okay, so the answer here is A, 1623A. The maker may be 17 years old if a member of the military. Now, it doesn't say you have to be drinking age, right? Because some states it's 18, other states it's 21. All right, number 24. Which of the following is true regarding mechanics liens in Texas? What is a mechanics lien? Okay, what is a lien? Vocabulary. A, mechanics liens cannot be filed until there is a delinquency in paying the contractors. B, there is a specific 75-day time limit for recording the lien. C, the lien also attaches to the specific portion of the building that was built or repaired. Okay, it says the lien only attaches. Remember other little keywords: only, must, never, none. And D, mechanics liens are classified as involuntary in Texas. So what is involuntary? Okay. Again, what is a lien? Specific portion, a specific 75-day time limit of recording. What is recording? Where does it get done? Okay, the answer here is B. There is a specific 75-day time limit for recording the lien. So whenever a contractor is hired to do a job for someone, they can inform, should you not pay me, I will be filing, recording a lien on your property. And it's not just on a portion of the property, it's on the whole property. Okay, there is a statute of limitation of 75 days, and they can actually present a document, okay, to the seller or the major contractor, okay, the general contractor, that, hey, we need to get paid, right? You don't pay me, I'm recording a lien on you, so that whenever you sell that property, I'll get paid. So 75-day limit for a, that is the statute of limitation. And let's see, number D said mechanic liens are classified voluntary. No, they are voluntary. Okay, because the owner or contractor hired other people to do the work. They volunteered, and they volunteered to pay them, right, when the job was complete. Number 25. Come on, internet. I'm trying to show the answer and it won't show it. So hold on here. Okay, truth. How many questions was this test we did in total? We did 11, but there's a whole bunch of questions. Okay, you'd have to go and review the books. Every chapter has a different number of questions. Okay, I don't remember how many questions in each test. Okay, that's a little bit too specific question. Okay, and that's not necessarily as important as to what material is covered. So what's important to you is how many questions are you going to be tested on the real exam. So today we did 11 questions on national, and we're going to be doing 5 questions on Texas. Okay, Lisbeth says, hey, Lisbeth is back because she's got to pass the Texas state. So yeah, the answer is A, to administer programs. The overriding purpose of the Veterans Land Board, did I already? Yeah, is which of the following? To administer programs designed to assist vets in acquiring their principal residence. So Veteran Lands Board, vocabulary, Google it, can't find it. B, to partner with Veterans Administration. You know, what is Veterans Administration? In underwriting, what is underwriting? Low income housing for veterans. C, to create a forum. What's a forum? For appealing. What's appealing? All these are vocabulary. Rejected, vocabulary. Loan applications submitted to lenders by veterans. D, to assist veteran homeowners in adjudicating. What is adjudicating? Foreclosure suits brought by creditors. So what is the purpose, the overriding, the main purpose of the Veterans Land Board? The answer is A, to administer programs designed to assist vets in acquiring their principal residence. So they'll get a certificate of approval from the Veterans Board before they can actually get a loan or talk to a lender And the lender can tell them, hey, you'll need to go and get an approval from the Veterans Board first. And the Veterans Board will let them know how much they'll qualify to purchasing a home. That they will, hold on here. The Veterans Board guarantees the loan 100%, right? FHA insures the loan. Veterans Board guarantees. So veterans can buy a home with 100% financing and not having to pay any down payment. They can, they don't have to. So it's zero down payment, 100% financing. And they typically their closing costs paid by asking the seller to contribute towards their closing costs. So the seller is educated by their listing agent that, you know, the most properties loans that are made are FHA and VA, and right now there's a lot of cash purchases. So with FHA and VA, buyers are typically going to ask for buyer closing costs to be contributed by the owners, by the sellers. Now, does the seller have to contribute? No. However, if those are the only types of offers they're getting, then they probably will, or they'll negotiate a certain amount. All right, number 26. And that didn't work. Oh. Gosh. Right there. All right. 26. Jane would leave the, which is managed by a homeowners association, also known as HOA. Okay. Homeowners association vocabulary. Require owners to be members. Which of the following is true? A. If Jane is not informed of the HOA, homeowners association, prior to closing, Jane can cancel the sales contract. The seller must disclose, okay, the HOA requirement prior to taking possession. C, the seller must give written notice of the membership requirement to Jane no more than 7 days after signing the sales contract. Or D, it enables the buyer to remove all liens on the property. So which answer will it be when it deals with HOA properties or homeowner associations in a property requiring all owners to be members? And the seller is selling that property. So what does the seller have to do? Okay, and remember, typing. Remember to pay attention, you know, don't let sometimes little words must, or no, or not, you know, be careful what you read in the question. Pay attention to each of the words you read in the question and the answer, because one little key word can throw it off and get you to either answer it correct or answer it wrong. So 126 or 626 is A, right? If Jane is not informed of the HOA prior to closing, Jane can cancel the sales contract. Okay, the seller has the duty to inform the any buyer that the HOA requires membership, and so it'll be mentioned in the listing agreement, and I mean in the MLS. And failure to remit any fees may result in a lien against the property. That's a lien on the seller if they haven't paid all their HOA dues or they're behind. The notice must be sent prior to signing the contract. So sometimes the notice is sent, after the contract is signed. The contract will say on there, seller has up to a certain number of days to deliver the HOA documents or other types of documents like the seller's disclosures. And if they don't deliver them in time or within closing, the buyer has the right to terminate or cancel. All right, number 27. Did anybody answer different? No. Okay, so Ms. Lisbeth answered A. Very good. Number 27. Interest. What is interest? Vocabulary. Following the execution, vocabulary, execute of a sales contract and prior to closing, the closing date, right, where seller and buyer go into the escrow office and sign their documents. Sellers have an equitable interest in title. Okay, what does equitable interest in title mean? What is title? Also, all vocabulary. B, Texas is referred to as a lien theory state. C, Texas mortgagees hold equitable title to the collateralized property. What is collateralized? What is property? D, Texas mortgagors, so you got mortgagees and mortgagors, hold equitable title in the collateralized property. So one, you want to know what equitable interest is. What is equitable? What type of state is Texas? Is it a lien theory state? Is it an equitable theory state? Who keeps the title in Texas when there's a loan? One party is going to keep the title when there's a loan in Texas and all the other states also. And then someone keeps the equitable title. So is it the mortgagor or is it the mortgagee that keeps the equitable title, the equitable interest? No answer. The answer is D. Texas mortgagors, that's the borrower, right, that got the loan. Remember the OR, it's different than in the traditional EEs. It means the same thing, but we think it's different, right? Because the mortgagor, okay, is the giver, right, of the collateral. They hold an equitable title in the collateralized property. The collateralized property, right, is the subject home that they're purchasing. That's the collateral for the loan that they took out that they must pay. So the lender has the lender has the title, the actual true title. Once the loan is paid for, then they will convey full title to the mortgagor. They will no longer be a mortgagor. Now there will be 100% owner. So Texas is a title theory state. Other states are lien theories, okay? So in the title state, the lender keeps the title. In a lien theory state, the mortgagor gets the title. All right, so we just did 5 Texas state questions. So any Texas on Texas state relating to real estate exam questions? So if no further questions, hey, thank you so much for watching, okay, or for attending the live. And if this is your first time to my YouTube channel, YouTube Agent Prep, I think you know what to do. Tap that subscribe button, click that little bell so you're the first to get notified every time I go live, and tap the thumbs up if you find this video useful, or this webinar, or my explanations, that it hopefully helps you pass your real estate exam. So remember to affirm, I passed, I passed, I passed, every day before you go to take your exam. And when you don't know something, hey, and you want a quick answer, Google it, research it. Don't go asking a lot of different people that don't know the actual information. Watch videos. However, Google has a lot of information available and can give you a quick answer. Go to your state commission website. There are lots of questions on there with answers, free questions under the frequently asked questions, FAQ section of the real estate commissions for all states. They're usually questions that you can study, okay, for your exams. You'll learn vocabulary and you'll learn it right from the source. Okay, we get more state info. Okay, clarify a little bit more. I won't do any more state questions tonight, okay, because I am at the end of my work day. So I'm not sure if you can get more Texas state info. I can do a day on just Texas to study. Well, the prep books, Lisbeth, are excellent for studying, okay? And that helps you a lot to learn the material, learn the concepts, and then reviewing the state questions from the prep book. Don't go back to their big, thick books, or when you studied online, it's too much information. The prep books summarize all the materials that you've learned on the real courses that you took. Now, is it going to be 100% review? No. They're going to review the major topics, the major concepts that will help you prepare for the actual exams that will provide. Now, you're going to have exam questions that you're like, oh my gosh, I never studied that. I've never seen this before. Well, they want us to think. They want us to think, have some common sense, and think about being out in the world doing the real estate, okay? So as far as studying, you can also, there are some other YouTube channels that have a little bit of Texas, but the prep book is, one of the best sources. Watching my videos, learning the vocabulary, and practicing the same questions over and over until you get 100 on them. Repeat so that you succeed to learn the material and to get on the questions. All right, y'all. Thanks again for attending. Love you. Until next time, catch you all later.